right, guys, round of applause for him real quick. There you go. Hey. So listen, this is a big room and we're all over the place. So we're going to get into some good stories here, especially for the ones coming up after me. I'm going to not make you, but encourage you to come on a little closer. Bring it in, bring it close. Don't be shy, don't be afraid. I'm not going to go out there and grab you with a stick or nothing, but I think it'd be really cool if we came in a little closer and brought the energy here, brought it up a little bit so we got to scream across the room. We're all going to share some pretty cool stuff here, and I'm going to start it off, and I'm very honored to be back. This is my third time speaking for the PHP charity fundraiser, so thank you guys for having me. The last time I spoke was also for Marabou Cares, and we got to connect, and Marisa, the wonderful work she's doing, and we got to start working together and helping out and stuff. So this has been a ripple effect, not just for the day that I'm here, but the work we've been able to do beyond that. So really honored to be here. Thank you all for coming closer. It's really good to see your faces nice and up front. I'm gonna get into my story to keep on track of time here, and here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna share a little bit of my story itself, a little bit of what I went through, but I don't like to just leave it at that. I'm a big proponent of the teaching, the learning, the inspiration, and the philosophy. So if it's okay with you, I'll do a little few minutes on my story, get through that, and then we'll get into the good stuff, the magic, if you will, on how this can apply to all of our lives and how we can improve. Are we okay? Is that cool? May I do that? Yeah. All right, thank you so much. So let's just, without further ado, we're gonna jump in. But before I start my story, we're gonna do a little participation. Be not out loud, just to yourselves though, but I'm gonna ask you all to do something for me. Keep your eyes open if you want. If you'd like to close your eyes as well, that's totally fine. This will only take a couple seconds, all right? First, let's just take a deep breath. All right, let's get settled in, let's get grounded. Now in this space, I want you to think about your current life. And I want you to think of maybe a challenge that you're currently going through. It can be a big or small, it can be work related, it can be personal relationship, it could be an illness, whatever it may be. Just don't overthink it. Just get it in your mind. Just picture something that you might be currently going through. When you got that in your mind, I want you to hold it, and I want you to just put it to the side. We're going to come back to that, but keep that in the back of your mind because we're going to go through that. We're going to address how we can work through that in a few minutes. So while we do that, let's get right into my story. Let's take us back to the year 2017. In the springtime, I was living a very cool life, doing all the things I love as a creative and performing artist. All right, I'm a musician, I'm a drummer, I was playing in 2 bands. I'm an actor, I had a couple commercials playing nationally. I own a production studio with my wife, Mary Lou, this beautiful young woman right over here. Woo-hoo. Together, we had a film that just came off a 22 festival film tour, and things were going really well. Furthermore, I was in probably the best shape and best health of my life. I had been a plant-based diet since 2011, into physical fitness. I was playing in a flag football league. I was competing in the Gold's Gym 12-week fitness challenge. I mean, I was doing really good, and I felt like things were moving forward in my life. I felt like the next step, the next big jump in my career was gonna happen, and everything was really clicking. I mean, it got so profound to me that one day I was out on a bike trail, and I looked up to the sky and I felt it vibrating through my body, and I screamed, "I am ready!" I knew it. But then on May 4th, I was diagnosed with cancer. This was not what I meant when I said I'm ready. But the crazy thing is that sometimes you get exactly what you needed. And when I declared that I was ready to face this challenge. I was ready because the cancer was coming anyway, and I was ready to face the biggest obstacle ever in my life. Now, I had to go through a lot of testing. There's a whole lot to this story that we can talk about more on a later day, or you can read my upcoming book or whatever. If you want all the details, we got to keep this nice and tight here. But the bottom line is, for starters, I had the follow-up appointment after my testing scheduled for May 4th. That was my choice, because God, may the 4th be with me, right? So we got the diagnosis. It was a germ cell tumor, and it was located right here inside of my chest. It was crushing my heart and my lung and who knows what else. Germ cells, real quick science lesson, we all have them. Germ cells are one of the first and fastest moving cells in our body. We're just little squiggles of embryos. These germ cells drop, they go down the little squiggle into the gonad, and they help create your future egg or sperm depending on which sex you're going to be. Sometimes one of these cells gets stuck along the way, never quite makes its journey down. And that cell for me got stuck in an area where my chest wall would form around. Later in life, something woke him up, and he was like, I don't know where I am or what I'm supposed to do now, but I gotta do something. And he started to rapidly multiply, just multiplying over and over and growing super fast. Next thing you know, it was almost 14 centimeters long and wreaking havoc on my chest. When I saw the doctors, they said, okay, here's the deal. We got to do chemo, we got to do surgery. There's a whole protocol. I was like, no, not for me. Don't want to do that. But then they said the cancer's not going to kill you. It's growing so fast that it's going to crush your heart in the next month or two if we don't start doing something super aggressive right now. So I had to accept an insane treatment plan and start. I went into the hospital. I moved into the hospital at UCLA. And I had to do chemotherapy, 3 different kinds, 24 hours a day for a week straight. Living there, week on, 2 weeks off, week on, 2 weeks off, rinse and repeat. Yep, lost the hair, body went skinny, muscle disappeared, felt sick, felt crazy, kept going. Finally, the tumor was still there, but it was dead. It was just a hardened mass that was stuck to my lung and my heart. So we had to do a full open chest surgery. 8 hours of surgical procedure to remove the tumor. They had to take out most of my right lung. They had to take off half of my heart's pericardial sac and patch it with a material called Gore-Tex. All right, they had to remove my superior vena cava. If you don't know what that is, it's your main vein from the, not that main vein. It's your main vein that drains your upper body back into your heart. They had to take mine out completely and rebuild it with bovine heart tissue. Now, it was strange being awoken from a surgery as a vegan to be told I was now part cow. I thought to myself, if I ever do eat meat again, would that make me a cannibal? I don't know. But I'm grateful to that cow because it helped me survive. I kept going, thought I was on the other side. A couple months went by. I started the slow process of rebuilding myself and my body and trying to get my life back together. Until one day I had a cardiac tamponade. If you don't know what that is, it's when your heart sac rapidly fills with fluid and your heart starts to clap with inside of its own sac. There was some kind of a complication that happened during the after surgery area, and it led to this thing that came out of nowhere. And literally by the time we got to the hospital, they said, you're a few hours from dying. We have to rush you into surgery immediately and drain your heart. Now, I had just come from a lunch party, so they said, you just ate food. We can't put you under, so you're going to be awake for surgery. That was fun, you know, a couple hours in there while they punctured my heart and drained it out and tried to save my life. And telling Mary Lou, by the way, in the meantime, my beautiful caregiver, who I can't give enough credit to, but telling her, hey, your husband might die in the next couple hours, and she had to sit with that. So I think on the other side of cancer, I came closer to dying than ever during the entire journey itself. Now, a week after that, they had to go and do another heart surgery. They had to cut a permanent hole in the bottom of my heart's pericardial sac to make sure that I had a drain in place in case it ever filled up again. They also were afraid the cancer had spread into the heart. It didn't, thank goodness. But that last heart surgery, that total of 5 surgeries in that year, put me down for a couple of years. It was hard to recover from that. But I did. I'm here today. I was declared cancer-free in 2018. And thank you guys, I really appreciate that. So there's so much more to this part of the story that I could share, but you get the gist, right? We understand, had cancer, almost died, came back, now he's alive. Great. Here's the magic part, though. And this is the only thing that I will preach when I teach. This is about how we take care of ourselves and prepare ourselves for the things that come in life that may go wrong. Now, I know I'm here with PHP, and I know that in this organization, personal development is very important, is it not? Yes. Personal development is huge. Yes. I feel in my body and my soul, and I have been doing personal development for a very long time. I've been doing spiritual practices, chanting and meditation, my vegan diet, healthy way of life, working out, fitness. I'm talking about mind, body, soul, spirit, emotion, working on all those areas. And I firmly believe, because I had done the work and I had been in the place, that when this happened, I knew what to do. I wasn't completely knocked off my feet because I had all of these practices in place already. And this is the one thing I'm just going to encourage, and I will preach about, is that now, start now. Eat better, take good care of yourself, work on your mind, work on your heart, your emotions, your spiritual practices, whatever that may be. Take good care of yourself now, because when something comes up, not saying you're going to get cancer, but things happen in life, the more prepared you are to go through it, the better you're going to be able to find the gold. And the gold came here. When I got this opportunity, I saw an obstacle and a benefit in the making. I saw cancer not as a curse or as a death sentence or as, oh, poor me. I saw this as a gift of possibilities. And very, very short after I got my diagnosis, I dropped in. I was in a chanting space, and I dropped in, and words started to manifest around me. The words came to me, and they said, embrace cancer, love cancer, free cancer. I didn't understand what it meant, but I started to marinate on those words. Embrace, love, free. What is this? Embrace, love, free. Embrace, love, free. And I thought more and more about it. I'm like, whoa, this is like a 3-step action plan for me to go through my cancer. But as I went through it, I realized that this is an action plan that others can use for their obstacles as well. And the one day through my journey when I realized that I needed to survive, that was the day that I realized that it wasn't about me. That me surviving cancer was about getting out there and helping as many people as I could in the world for as long as I have the blessings to be here. Thank you. So before I take just a couple more minutes, at the very beginning, I asked you all to think of something that you're going through as a challenge, right? We still have that pictured in our mind, a little challenge. You've heard my story, the challenge that I went through. So now I want you to think about how I explained these 3 steps, and maybe you'll find a way to apply this to your challenge. And if anybody in this room, one person even, can take these 3 steps and put it to your challenge, then this was a success for me up here. Embrace. I got diagnosed. It knocked me off my feet. I didn't want to stop my career. I didn't want to stop my job. I didn't want to stop my life. But I realized that I had to embrace my situation. I had to embrace that I had this and accept it. I didn't have to like it, but I had to accept that it was there and it was true. I wasn't about to live in denial, the fact that I had cancer. I embraced it. I said, okay, I can do this. I embrace that I'm going through this. I embrace that this is where my life is right now. My job now is to figure out the way forward and figure out the way to find a benefit for my life. So embracing your challenge is huge. Once you get to the place of acceptance, you are already way ahead of the curve for anything you're going through. Embrace your challenge. Biggest part is love. Step 2 is love. What does that mean? Love your challenge. I said, love my cancer. I literally used to talk to my tumor, named him JT, short for Justin's tumor. But I talked to him. I thanked him. I called him my mentor. I realized that this tumor was just a collection of cells. It wasn't good, it wasn't bad, it wasn't trying to kill me. It was just a collection of cells that manifested. And it was just trying to survive like anything, like any of us is trying to survive. So I couldn't be mad. He was just in the wrong place at the wrong time. But we couldn't both live, so he did have to go. So I had to make peace and say, hey, it's okay. You're free, you can go. Let these cells drift away because I need to survive to go and do bigger things. But you have been a mentor and a teacher, and thank God for you because you set my life on a new trajectory. And while this is hard to go through, I am getting something so much bigger out of this. A bigger appreciation for life, a bigger way of understanding how to go through obstacles, and a bigger way to help other people. And so I stayed in that space of love. As sick as I got, as down as I got, as close as I came to death, I kept loving everything I was going through because I knew that it was the greatest opportunity I had to make my life better and help other people. And I stayed in that space of love, love, love. It was in the hardest of days, still that important to say love. I love you. Love yourself. And when you stay in that love energy, guess what? We vibrate up here in love. When we're in fear, when we're in the victim space, we're down here, nothing happens. We don't manifest good things in our lives. But we vibrate love, possibilities are everywhere. And that's what I did. I saw love all the way through the very end until I was on the other side. But what does free mean? Free means that after I was done with cancer, and I was supposed to just be back to my old life, and I couldn't. My body was destroyed for years. I was a total wreck. I had to spend a lot of time and a lot of hard work rebuilding myself. But one day it clicked to me that I was still living in this space of being a cancer patient. I wasn't with cancer, but mentally I was still there. I was still holding on to it. So then I realized, this free word, finally I understand what it means. I needed to free the obstacle of cancer so that I could move into the next stage of my life and move forward with my mission. So I released it. I said, thank you, you can go now. And I freed the obstacle of cancer, and I took with it the lesson that I learned, the benefit that I gained, and the gift that I have to keep living through every day that I get to share with other people. So hopefully, this is very brief, and I feel like I'm talking a million miles an hour right now, but hopefully this makes a little bit of sense, that if you're facing a challenge in your life, no matter where it is, you can just stop for a second and embrace your challenge, come from a place of love and vibrate in that love energy. See it through and find the opportunities. Find all the benefits that may happen from going through this, from facing it head on as hard as it may be. And when you get to the other side and you realize that you've grown, that you've learned, that something in your life has shifted, then you'll see the magic and you'll be able to free it and move on. And look, there's going to be another challenge right around the corner, and another one, and another one, and another one, because that's life. Life is about challenges. Life is about facing adversity, overcoming and moving forward. That's how we grow. That's how we break free. So don't wish for less challenges. Wish for more solutions. Wish for more opportunity. Wish for more spaces to love. and come together to help others. Remember that it's not always about us as the individuals, it's us as the whole. We can help organizations, we can help communities, we can help people with their individual challenges, and together we rise up. So thank you all so much for being here, for listening to me. Really appreciate the opportunity. This has been my third time again. Great to see you all. Please, if you need anything, please stay in touch with me. It's Justin Sandler. I'm on social. I got a website. I got a book coming out next year. And my wife, Mary Lou, and I are about to make a documentary feature film called Caregiving Cancer. You can go to caregivingcancer.org if you want to check it out. We're going to talk about the caregiver's experience through going through cancer and try to help people in that space as well. So it's a blessing and an honor to be alive and standing in front of you. Thank you so much. Have a beautiful evening.
Round of applause for him one more time. That was very powerful, guys. Very powerful. Takeaways. Couple takeaways.